Let's hope that that doesn't happen again. Yeah, there were. Yeah, it looks like a desync cropped up somewhere, so that must have. Ah, okay. Well, all right. Hot reset soft key. Or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So. That would explain it. That's why I don't like hotkeys. Is because they can just turn up without you doing anything. All right. You've made a covenant, my friend. Are you gonna be cool and keep your covenant? That is the question. Ah, deliberations, huh? Don't break the covenant, brother. Each bird. You broke the covenant, brother. Well, let us hope that you suffer for your decisions. Alright. So we got Shadow and we got Wado. And we got PCG metadata. In other words, music and lie distributions. But any hole can crop up, so here we're starting with Sans 15. So yeah, basically anything goes. You can have pars down to 54, which is exceedingly rare. I think the lowest par count I've ever had when loading 18 was like 63. But that said, on the other side, you could have I've had a par upwards of like 79 or 80 when running randos at one point. What would be my pick for random 18? Good question. Incidentally, I have a spreadsheet that I have saved at work, of all places, where I've basically kind of created my own, sort of distributions of the holes that would be, sort of logically least to most difficult. But I don't have access to that right now. I don't know, what can I say? Some days at the office are slow. Alright, so... is he really gonna bank on a 32 here? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Oh! Under-aimed. Well, the code is set so that there's no duplicates. So yeah, we can't have volcanoes and whales alternate, unfortunately. Oh, and there's one other nifty thing, is that on rare occasions, the side games hole can get loaded. So I don't know how many of you remember that one. Wow! Both miss! Neither of those putts looked that difficult, but I guess they just had quirky slopes. So it's a spread regardless. Alright. What do we get next? Looks like a CCF 9! No, wait, no. 17! Yeah, 457 yards, lol, so that's definitely 17. So now here's just a matter of tactics. Both of these characters are powerful, so the priority is to give them space. So Spy's got himself a slight bit of a downslope, but a tall Baffy should still make it. Shadow's a strong boy. His shots are low, but with his power level, looks are deceiving. Looks are deceiving. Meanwhile, Ely is trying to do the infamous corner pivot, where, you know, basically it's like, oops, all upslopes. So this is an interesting place to go for, but you notice there's sort of a gap in the tree line. So that might, yeah, that can actually work out for him. This is an angle that you do not often see. Personally, I mean, I don't like this so much because you're kind of oblique to the green, but on the other hand, yeah, you know, it's lucrative. I would have done a pitch backspin, but he should be good. Great. Then again, maybe his decision is good. I mean, I'm the one who lost. Yeah, so Bathy gets up there no problem. In fact, Bathy's a little strong here, so that said, I think the 3-iron goes a little too low for his liking, and Sand's power means he doesn't quite make it, so this is kind of awkward. Slice is fascinating, but he probably doesn't carry enough to take advantage of the backspin. So he'll have an approach that... Yeah, Shadow will have an approach that kind of jerks at the end, so... But it'll probably take a decent bounce before it gets the chance, so... You just gotta not overthink it so much.
Nice shot. Chip in. Nice eagle. Miss and lose.
So yeah, that works out for him. Most good players will eagle this hole, but sometimes the pin is in an uncomfortable spot. Nice assertive putt, that should work.
Nice eagle.
I almost feel like you can be more assertive on tournament greens than regular ones. So Lackey 4 is the next roll here, and 392, that suggests front flag. So easy flag for him. We should be seeing 2 very assertive attacks to this flag. We might see a little bit of slippery dancing. We might see some, maybe some choked approach wedges. Maybe. Or pitching, perhaps. The slope is a little bit weird up front there, but that's a decent enough spot for him. He just can't get complacent, that's all. Whereas I think Spy is looking to be a little bit more direct here.
Nice shot.
Top ball sand is a classic combo.
Excellent.
Good try. The rain made it a little slippery. That is perfectly assertive.
Nice bird. Miss and lose. Nice bird.
You know, 1.5 and maybe a foot or two is never a bad idea. Next is CCF 15, so they got some a lot of early ones here that they're biased towards. Yeah, I'm trying to think. None of these have been blooper PCG or Badlands yet.
Nice shot.
That said, Spy definitely wanted to carry past that flag, because this is an uphill green, so even with Shadow Mario's seemingly bad spin, that'll still bite.
Nice.
So yeah, normal backspin, if anything, is a slightly better decision. Woohoo!
Nice on.
2.7 square. This slope in front of the cup is a little weird, but maybe if he attacks directly enough, then maybe he'll just have to maybe account for a slight glance.
Nice shot. Chip in. Nice bird.
Very good.
Miss and lose.
That was a good read, because that slope was not super strong, so it was never going to glance more than a couple inches. Alright, next roll is blooper 4. Which you would think in theory should be an easy one, but I've seen plenty of players trip up on either their second shot or their putt here. This green is kind of shit.
Nice shot.
Oh, so he fell off of the slope, but still a slightly awkward spot for our low-hitting Wario here, but he's got something.
Nice shot.
Topspin is a risky move,
Nice on.
but I give him at least a coin flip that he sinks that. Yeah, this pin is so sensitive.
Nice
Yep.
shot. Nice on. Birdie putt.
I love the drag shot, because then if you underhit, then you just let go. Yeah, 910 squared then would be 729 thousandths. Alright, so yeah, 30 is a good power level. Now it's just a matter of where the line is. Good putt.
Nice birdie. Miss and lose.
If Elijah wins here, then
Nice birdie.
the bracket resets, and then it becomes a sudden death match. Well, not a sudden death like, you know, next hole wins match, but that would mean that they would have both lost once, and so then the next loser's out and the winner's the winner.
Nice shot.
But if Elijah fails, then Spyfox will have made an undefeated run. So yep, Sans 1 is the roll here, and this one is... I don't know. I've come to dislike this one. It gives me more problems than it should. Both are almost equidistant at 132x from the hole here, with Spyfox being about 132.3, if I remember correctly. And then Elijah's was like 132 point zip.
Nice shot.
I like this backspin. Yeah, top 9 will behave similar to a 6, so that was good. I do not like this flag either, that is for sure. I've been 4 many times, and so what I've learned is it's almost always better to, like, attack and bite. Because I've had too many times where I try to get cute and run up to it, and then I hook, and I end up off the green with a dumb chip. You don't want that. Overheaded +5 is devastating, so yeah, he's going to try to bite in every way possible.
Nice on.
Which that probably didn't bite as much as you'd expect because of the, you know, his lie kind of, you know, reduces spin inherently, but also it's just kind of a it's a reduced shot, and so reduced shots in the code have reduced spin power. Did you know? So that's why I'll sometimes, when I try to do some kind of hybrid shot, I'll like club up and choke.
Nice birdie.
Perfect read.
Miss and lose.
Perfect read. These guys are such good putters.
Nice birdie.
So they remain gridlocked through 6 holes. No, not one drop. Badlands 6. All right. Not often that you see this one in a daytime ambience. And flip-flop nonetheless.
Nice shot.
So that's a clean run. One little quirk with the mirror code is that it screws up shadows in certain places. So here you can't really see the thwomp shadows. You just kind of have to know they're there and avoid them.
Nice shot.
I mean, with the way that they've both played against me, it'll probably be they each make 2 mistakes, or one of them maybe makes, you know, 3, and then... But I don't know, we could see sudden death, who knows? It's not too uncommon. Or at the very least, the threat of playing 18. That is a very good shot.
Nice on.
Yeah, this is that gnarly pin number 3 in the corner there, and they've both read that very well. So, and let's see how Spyfox responds. He does something kind of similar-ish to what was in our prior match. That slice will probably hurt a little, but if he at least carries the green, then he'll make some real estate. So yeah, that's incidentally a nice parallel putt there. Maybe just, I don't know, brief glances for any persnickety side slope, but I don't really see any. Actually, maybe if anything, maybe it slopes right and maybe he... Oh no, it's... Okay, that's odd. Good call. Good call. Okay. Because, yeah, that was almost kind of centering back leftward. PCG 10! Oh, that you never want to see this one. Now, this is some fresh new meta I've been seeing over here, is that you've got some folks that are landing on this, like, fairway band here that is mostly upslope, so as long as you carry enough, then either one of two things happens. Either you bounce out of the rough, or you just kind of basically bite and stop. So, yeah. That said, you also will see folks going over to this corner here, too. Both of these options are more assertive than... Oh my! Yeah, that's a... Two-framer is really going to hurt, because, yeah, that was mushroom. And then somehow glance that corner to another mushroom, and yeah, that's going to be our first mistake here. Yeah. We all get those yips sometimes. Or that, you know, hint of hesitation. That's killed me a couple of times today. Oh, almost kind of like the sound that those spiders make in new soup. That would be like if Shy Guys were imitating the sound. So it looks like the initial plan was backspin, but now it doesn't need it. Oh, that slope is vicious. Well, that in a draw doesn't help there much either. Did he hold up? He must have. There's no way that that gets up there that comfortably. There's no way that a standard 29 gets up there that comfortably. He must have held up. Which, I mean, you know, if you're playing something in the 29 to 32 range, not a bad idea. But that is going to be Spy's first steal here. Add 15. Hey, Lamau, dude. I haven't seen the bomb go in quite some time. That said, this is a bridge, but he snagged rough, so that keeps him safe. Absolutely brilliant. You know what's also what's kind of funny is that having that bomb gone actually kind of hurts him. Because if he wants to try to do the same thing, now he risks falling into that crater, and unless Wario happens to be, like, you know, give himself enough space, getting out of that crater is not free. Yeah. I mean, someone like Daisy or Mario has a much easier time, but Wario, I'm not so sure. Ugh. While I'm not being a dumbass, I might as well flip this. There we go. Now that that's a little more clear, and even better still, we will transmogrify this to the center. There we go. For all of you Calvin and Hobbes fans out there. I like this idea. Because it'll hit the upslope and... Okay, that carried more than I thought it would, and probably maybe a little more than he thought too, but... So yeah, this is going to have to be a very ginger sort of putt. Although he could be slightly more assertive with it, but you definitely probably wouldn't want to attack that with more than 25 feet or so. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he tries some like thing where he aims, you know, a fair little ways away and does like 20 or something. But we'll see. I think the very minimum you could get away with a putt like this is 16. But your line would have to be perfect, because this putt screams downhill. I think that's a little hard, but we'll see. Yep, just a little. Yeah, that ball was going just a little too fast still. All those downhill putts are nasty. It's all so velocity sensitive. Oh, formerly curb, but we've got some hot net play toiny stuff. This is the grand finals of the 11th Toasty Tour. And our two top players here, having both trounced me in consecutive games to knock me out, are playing 18 randomized holes with mirrored orientation. So you missed me getting bombasted 5-2, and then you missed me getting bombasted 5-2 again. So the two winners are now at it. Although Elijah lost to me once earlier in the tournament, and that matches on my YouTube channel. These ones will go up there too in the coming days. They'll all get parsed up. But yeah, here Elijah lost a couple of holes to missed putts. So there were definitely some tricky ones. Very good drag shot here. Now the reason why you're seeing this hole, but you're hearing Peach music and the Peach's Castle flags, is because that was the course that was chosen. But all that means for our purposes is that that's where we're getting like the distribution of the lies, and that's where we're getting potentially the background and the OST. Whereas if they picked like Blooper Bay, then there would be a higher probability of encountering crappy lies. Whereas Peach's Castle Grounds is nice and neutral, and it's fitting for a tournament setting. Some of the skyboxes changed, some don't. Sand 17 is the next roll here. Decent crosswind means that the ball will drift a fair bit of an amount. And they can expect a somewhat bigger bounce with stronger backspin than usual. Yeah, I find that phenomenon fascinating. Ooh! I was going to say, that one's a little overstruck, but not a bad thing. But once again, Spyfox manages to snip that pin and get himself closer than we would have expected. That's what killed me on Badlands 13. He had a pretty good shot going already, but hit the pin and stuck the green and made it that much harder for me. So both of them got clean shots off there. Pretty simple pin overall. You just gotta not do anything too weird.
Nice birdie. Miss and lose. Nice birdie.
Yeah, I knew that would go in. It was just a matter of whether that would drift away or not. Because, you know, downhill stuff, it'll add at least, you know, double the elevation change. Badlands 12, so now we're seeing the latter half holes more here. Whereas earlier we were seeing beginner holes. So that really puts like your upper power characters to the test. So the question is, does he want to do Big Blasta, or probably not, because I don't think any of us have an algorithm or anything consistent. Is that going to nick the bomb? That's the question. Alright, so he catches rough, which was the problem that I had in my match on this hole because there was gnarly weather. I ended up slicing off the tee, and that ended up putting me in the rough instead of fairway, which was unfortunate, but I was actually able to save this hole because I managed to bounce off of the rock to 15 yards from the flag. It was front flag, and then I sunk the chip. So that's probably my one highlight in this run today. Otherwise, I am not super proud with how I played. Plus 4% is huge for him. Is he going to maybe take a glance off that mound? No. Although, granted, maybe that was the plan. Maybe that's the idea, is that, you know, then he's got like a clean runway to chip from, whereas doing it from over here is kind of awkward, but I don't know. Or maybe he wasn't gambling on high roll there. Clean shot from Ellie. So I think there's just enough room for an approach to squeeze, but it's probably not the shot you want to make. Definitely stick with the sand if you're going to do this. So this ought to have just enough room to micro adjustment, and it's good. Yeah, every one of these guys, you know, myself included, were able to, if the need arises, do eighth ball adjustments, or even less at times. It's crazy. Laggy 16. Deceptively tricky par 3, but the pin is in a simple spot here. It's not like on one of the edges of the bowl. That would otherwise make this a pain in the ass. Oh, that hook's gonna hurt. But he still carried enough to make it work anyway. Maybe he had a mark in mind and it just overhit it, and so he did that as a purposeful compensation? Either way, that worked out well because Shadow Mario basically is like, you know, king of drag shots. With his low spin stat and all, which is only lessened by Peach. Peach is the only character that's got worse spin, if I recall correctly. Slanty putts here, but, you know, if they're assertive, is 11 going to be enough? Oh no! Looking grim for Elijah here. 3 down with 5 to go. This is going to be tough. He should have stuck with the Covenant. I tell you what, he should have kept that Mario choice from before there was that desync before. Because he picked Mario before, but now he picked with Wario, and perhaps now he's paying the price. He broke the Covenant. Meanwhile, that is a stellar tee shot, so Spyfox shows no signs of slowing down. Elijah with it. This looks like a pretty good tee shot anyway. Even if it glances off a little bit, it's not wasted, at least. So that was probably a delayed transmission of the X button or whatever that would be for that. Yeah, so I don't think anybody's got a spin stat of 6, so I think that's fairly definitive. See, that's that delicious drag shot. That's one thing you gotta love about Shadow Mario. Like, I mean, having a low spin stat, like, say, if you're using, like, Luigi, Diddy, or the like, is not such a bad thing if you play for it. That said, Bowser's spin stat absolutely comes in monstrously clutch a lot of times. And, you know, to a similar extent, Mario. Fours to the 4, that is indeed 1.6 squared. He's gonna hold down a bit. I think it's good. Yeah, these guys are all so good. And thus, the match lives one more hole. What will they roll for the PCG won! Oh boy, and it's back back right, isn't it? So this is the second best putting hole. So while Spyfox could go for the pipe and try the putt for eagle for deliciousness, he's already 3 up, so he's got no incentive to waste a hole trying that. Whereas Elijah here, we might be seeing big bounce in a tournament setting. Let's freaking go. We might. Does he remember how to do it? Okay, the slice is a safe miss. So that means he'll miss the fast fairway and he'll be able to continue playing. Whereas if something else went wrong, like, you know, if he bounced over the pipe or, you know, something else terrible like that, then that would have been a lost hole. That would have been very optimistic chance for par, but usually that's a bogey if you fail the shot. So he fights for a birdie chance at least. So that was a good setup, but probably, yeah, a little pressure and a little eagerness. And then a slight overcompensation, but he hit deep enough that this should be fine. Yeah, this is that's a good spot anyways. It's a very easy return from the backside, so this pin is probably the easiest of the 4 in normal play. Just because, you know, you have all those resources to come back, as well as you have a fairly simple putt from the pipe. Back left flag, it's a similar principle with overhitting, but then you have the problem of potentially landing in the pipe if you underhit. So that makes that pin a little scary. And it's difficult to putt to from the pipe's drop spot.
Nice shot. Chip in.
Alright, so Elijah keeps this going one more time. And then, yeah, 428 is that one that's tucked in that front corner on the slope, and that one is awful by all accounts. But that said, with a little bit of research, you could find a semi-consistent putt from the pipe landing. You could. What I recommend doing for that pipe is landing a little bit past the hole and spinning back. Ooh, so this is the side game hole. So this is the one that's got the extra long tee box that's used to position the players depending on their power levels. And then there's that upsloping green in the back. So there is a tiny chance that the random code loads this hole, which is otherwise unused. And as it turns out, it is a very long par 4. But it's very simple. Mostly. Although it's very uncommon that you have the chance to experience this on tournament greens without some kind of code. So Elijah's just going to kind of drag this up a fair bit, and that's going to be fine. But unfortunately, Spyfox obviously has the upper hand. Spyfox basically just needs to birdie in any way, shape, or form, and it's over. So yeah, in spite of this hole's length, it's simple enough that every character can reach this in 2 no problem.
Nice shot.
Now, if we're talking unstar characters, that's possibly a different story.
Excellent.
That probably seals the deal.
Birdie putt.
Probably. So yeah, this is just like a full-on pretty straight ordeal here. Don't have to hold up.
Nice birdie. Sink to win.
And that is a GG. Spyfox goes undefeated in Toasty Tour 11. We have our champion. And what was that, a 6-3 or a 5-2? Or did... Oh no, Ely didn't get any, so that's a 3 zipper. Ouch, man. Still, you know, good shooting from everybody. But yeah, Spyfox definitely had a good day today. And so for, I believe, what would be either a 5th time, Spyfox wins Toasty Tour. And so he is the winningest player that we've had. I've won once, Elijah has won either twice or 3 times. And I believe Remke has won one of the early ones. And I can't remember who won either the first or second one. I can't remember who that was. I think maybe that was Remke that won the second one. But that was before I found out about it. But from the third one onward was when I started getting involved. So, yeah, what did we have total there? We had just that one par 5. That's crazy. Lots of 4s. Lots of 4s in this lineup. So that's just kind of, you know, the bread and butter of, you know, any of your characters. And in that regard, Control would have actually probably been dominant there. But, you know, you don't know those things. You always want to go with, you know, some kind of balance or a little bit of power just in case some of the short ones come up.